Good evening, friends. Today we will take you through the first examination report, which you generally receive after filing of your request for examination with the Indian Patent Office. What we have seen is that this is the report which mostly forces the inventors to think that why they have issued so many objections. And this report is a very comprehensive report. It requires a lot of efforts to understand the various objections and how you will be able to respond to those objections. So my session focus is to take you through these objections so that at least you grasp the things or the objections which are listed in the first examination report. The first and foremost thing you need to understand is that the date of dispatch email. We need to understand that filing of a patent application and examination of the patent application is a legal process, and the legal process always includes due dates. Okay, so you need to respond to your to the objections raised in this report, first examination report. If you look at this period is 6 months. Okay, so we as an inventor's perspective, we need to submit this response to the office action, or you consider the first examination report, by 2nd of October 2019, which are the 6 months from the date of dispatch of this email. Okay, and if you wish to, let's say, take an extension period, you have a liberty to file 3-month extension period, but that you need to pay government fee to take an extension, and that has to be filed before the expiry of the 6 month. Okay, now after that, suppose you decide that you don't wish to file the response to this first examination report, then your application will be considered as an abandoned under this section 21(1) of the Indian Patent Act. Okay, so it is very important within this 6 month you just not respond to the objections of the Indian Patent Office, you also try to comply with those objections, and wherever requirement is there, you need to amend your application also. Okay, now let's quickly go to the next page. The next page, if you look at, is I would say it is kind of a bibliographic details, where it will indicate what is your application number, when was it filed. If you are claiming priority from the earlier application, then the date of priority would be there. If you have filed this application as a PCT national phase application, so when did you file the PCT international application and the date, who is the applicant. Okay, when did you file the request for examination, the number of that application would also be there, when it was filed, when your application was published. So you make sure that the data provided here is up to the mark, and there is no wrong entries in such kind of data. So then we move to the part 1 of the search this examination report. Here, if you look at, is the critical points. Your invention is first technically it is examined for under 3 categories. Okay, your claims portion will be firstly decided which claim is novel, which claim is not novel, which claims have inventive step, which claims do not have, and does your application has any industrial applicability, yes or no. So this is a very you can say executive kind of summary given by the Indian Patent Office, and in case your application is referring to some PCT international application, if you have filed yes or no kind of indication is also there. Then this is again another kind of objection where they will raise issue again on the claims, whether your claims are not providing clear illustration to the examiner, or the scope of the claims is not clear to the examiner. Okay, so it is very important for you to understand that this forms the basis for you that okay, your application has some issues and where are those issues, so that you can understand more. Now the next part is the detailed technical report. Okay, now you remember we discussed that the novelty objection is there, then the inventive step objection is there. In the next section, the patent examiner provides a very detailed review on the novelty of your claims, as well as a why the examiner thinks that your claims are not novel or inventive step in view of the documents which are being cited by the examiner. So there you will find some list, document D1, right, document D2 is there, and he has also cited that this document D1 is entirely related to all the claims, but the D2 is related to the claim number 3, 4, 8 and 10. Okay, and after that the reasoning will be given by the examiner why he thinks that this claim number all these claims, for example here 1 to 5 to 7 and 9 lacks novelty, and the reasoning part I have not highlighted. In fact, I have hide it because this is a confidential information and we cannot share this information. And after that, if you look at that in the analysis the examiner have claimed that the claim 1 lacks novelty. Okay, so then there is another kind of detailing provided by the examiner. So this kind of detailing which will definitely vary depending upon the scope of the invention. Similarly, the way examiner has considered the novelty objections, the examiner will also go into a very detailed analysis over the inventive step. Okay, so after that there are another certain objections are also there. The sufficiency of disclosure. The examiner believe that the claims for which you are seeking protections are not sufficiently described in the specification. So there also you need to address these objections so that the patent can be granted to your patent application. Okay, in the sufficiency of disclosure, this report will cover the abstract part. If for example your abstract is more than some specific words, the examiner may ask you to shorten your abstract information. Okay, and then this is the scope area where the examiner wants that you should focus on using the terms which are very clear. This is again a practice of the examiner too. For some examiner the word comprising may be fine, but for other examiners they are not comfortable with this kind of word. As you can easily see, the examiner has highlighted that this claim is vague, non-particular, and it's an open-ended claim, so we will not be allowing this claim. Okay, another type of objection is the clarity and conciseness. Okay, there in such kind of objections, the examiner may ask you to put reference numerals in the claims, or in case if the examiner feel that the claims are not clearly defining the scope, and there appears to be have some ambiguity, for example improper antecedents are there, then you need to rectify all such kind of objections to address those issues. So in the sixth part, examiner is giving some more information to you that in case you wish to provide amended claims, make sure provide us the markup copy as well as the newly amended claims as a separate files. Okay, and also provide us the information regarding all the foreign applications, what is the status of those application in other countries outside India. So provide all that information to us. Okay, here comes the last part majorly, which is the formal requirements. Then these are kind of you can say format related issues. If the signatures are not okay. Okay, so all these kind of things will be given by the examiner. And in case, for example, if you have not submitted this form 3, which is details of the foreign applications, then the examiner may ask you to submit a petition also. And objections related to GPA, drawing signature. So these are all the things where these are the formal requirements, and you can easily comply either amending your documents, or by submission of a petition to comply those requirements. And in the last patent office will also indicate to you that these are the documents which they have for this application with them. And in case you think that something is not filed, something which is already filed but not listed here, you can point out such kind of irregularities also to the examiner while preparing responses to your uh, first examination report. And here, if you see, it's very important, the patent office is also making sure to remind you that the last date to respond to your examination is 2nd of October 2019. I hope this information would help you to understand a bit more about your first examination reports. And in case you have some specific questions, you can reach us at our email ID and the mobile number mentioned on our website. And that's it from our side. Thank you, and keep us posted about the topics or the questions which you want to get addressed from the patent attorneys. We would definitely, wherever possible, we would love to respond to your questions. Thanks. Bye.